She called him my man, my man, my man. She cooked for him, catfish and spaghetti, apparently his favorite. She moved in with him. She showed up to his games courtside in his jersey. She gave him a public love, and he cheated. Now I am not here to talk about Klay Thompson. I am not here to dissect him or diagnose him or give him any more airtime than this moment requires. What I am here to talk about is the pattern. Because what happened to Megan Thee Stallion is not a celebrity story. It is not gossip. It is the story of millions of women who have done everything right, who have loved fully, shown up completely, given generously, and still ended up in the same place. Replaced, betrayed, discarded. And the reason it keeps happening, the reason it happened to Megan, one of the most beautiful, successful, talented women, is because of a lie that women have been fed for so long that most of us don't even recognize it as a lie anymore. The lie is this: if you just love him right, he will become the man you need him to be. You cannot wife your way into being chosen. And today, we are going to talk about why. Let's define what we are talking about, because trying to be wifey is not just cooking and cleaning. It is a psychology. It is a posture. It is a way of moving in a relationship that is fundamentally rooted in audition energy. Trying to be wifey is when you give relationship-level devotion to a situationship-level commitment. It is when you cook the meals, manage the emotions, absorb the bad times, make yourself indispensable, all in the hope that eventually he will look at everything you've given and decide that you are worth choosing. Megan did this visibly, publicly, beautifully. She held him down through what she described as horrible mood swings during his basketball season. She supported him through arguably the worst professional year of his career. She was there, fully, loudly, without reservation. And here is what makes this so painful and so important to talk about. She was not doing anything wrong. She was being a loving, devoted partner. The problem was never her behavior. The problem was that she was operating under the belief that her devotion could produce a decision in him that he had not already made internally. It cannot. It never can. And this is the thing that nobody tells women clearly enough. Why do women do this? Why do we give so much, so fully to people who have not yet fully chosen us? Part of it is social conditioning. We are raised to believe that a woman's love is transformative, that behind every great man is a woman who believed in him, that patience and devotion are virtues, and that if we are virtuous enough, we will be rewarded with the relationship we want. This is a fairy tale, and it is a specifically female fairy tale, because nobody tells males that if they just cook enough dinners and manage enough emotions, she will eventually decide to be faithful to them. The burden of proof, the burden of performance is placed almost entirely on women, but there is also something deeper going on. Many women perform like a wife because somewhere underneath the cooking and the loyalty and the showing up, there is a belief that they are not already enough, that they have to earn being chosen, that love is not something they are inherently worthy of, but something they have to produce through consistent, high-quality service. When you believe you have to earn love, you perform love. And performing love is exhausting, unsustainable, and ultimately futile, because you are trying to manufacture through behavior what can only exist through genuine mutual choice. Being chosen versus being convenient. This is the distinction that changes everything, and I need you to really sit with it. There is a difference between a man who has chosen you and a man who has chosen what you do for him. A man who has chosen you values your presence, your energy, your mind, the specific, irreplaceable person that you are. When life gets hard, when the season is bad, when things get complicated, he still chooses you. Because he chose you, not the function you serve. A man who has chosen what you do for him values your output. Your cooking, your loyalty, your emotional support, your willingness to hold him down. And when a version of that output becomes available somewhere else, or when he decides he no longer needs it, you are replaceable. Because you were never the point. The convenience was. Megan described holding him down through his bad moods, through his bad season, through everything he put her through. She was being a ride or die, and he repaid that with infidelity. Not because she wasn't enough, but because convenience does not produce loyalty. Only genuine choice does. The question every woman needs to ask herself, not when she is leaving, but before she invests, is this: has this man chosen me? Or has he chosen what I bring to his life? Because those are two very different relationships, and only one of them is worth your wifey energy. There is a specific version of this pattern that I need to name directly, and that is the placeholder dynamic. A placeholder is a woman who fills the role of partner without holding the position. She does everything a wife does. She gives everything a wife gives. But in his mind, consciously or not, she is occupying the space until something he wants more becomes available, or until he figures out what he actually wants, or until he decides he is ready to truly commit. The tragedy of the placeholder is that she almost never knows she is one. Because from the inside, the relationship feels real. The intimacy is real. The daily life is real. The investment she is making is absolutely real. But she is building in someone else's house. And when he decides to move, she is left with nothing to show for the construction. You cannot devote your way into someone's first choice. Either you already are or you aren't. And the sooner a woman learns to read that distinction early, rather than after years of playing the wife, the less of herself she will give away to men who were never going to fully receive her. Here is what I want to leave you with. Because this video is not about pain, it is about power. What Megan did right was leave, immediately, clearly, without negotiation. She spoke her truth publicly, stated her values, trust, fidelity, respect are non-negotiable, and then she walks. That is the move. That is the woman who knows her worth in real time, under real pressure, in front of the whole world. But the lesson for the rest of us is not just about how to leave. It is about what to look for before you arrive at the leaving. Stop auditioning. Stop performing. Stop giving wife-level investment to men who have not made husband-level decisions. Your loyalty is not a down payment on being chosen. It is a gift that should only be given to someone who has already chosen you freely without needing to be convinced. You are not a project. You are not a rehabilitation center. You are not a placeholder to be warmed up until something better comes along. You are the something better. And any man who cannot see that without you having to prove it to him through years of service is not the man for you. Reflect on this. Where in your life are you currently auditioning for a role you should already have been given? Are you being chosen and are you being kept convenient? And do you know the difference in how each one actually feels? What would you have to believe about yourself to stop performing for love and start simply receiving it from people who offer it freely? I'll see you in the next one.